Hello everyone and welcome. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation with the title, From Sushant to Nisha, A Life Rewritten. Today, we'll explore a remarkable journey of transformation and resilience. Over the next few minutes, I'll share the story behind this inspiring change, highlighting key moments and lessons learned. So let's get started. In our previous video, we saw how Sushant started transforming into Nisha during his teenage years, and we explored some of the life circumstances that influenced that change. Now, let's move forward and delve deeper into his story. To recap, we've discussed the early signs of his transformation and the environment around him that played a role in shaping his emerging identity. Understanding these key points helps us see how complex the journey of self-discovery can be, especially during such a pivotal time like adolescence. This part of the story is crucial because it connects to the larger theme of identity and the challenges we all face in understanding who we are amidst changing circumstances. So, as we continue, keep in mind how these experiences are interconnected and how they set the stage for what's to come in Sushant's journey. By 2010, Nisha had spent years behind a screen, communicating with countless men. She shared conversations that often stretched for hours and built emotional worlds that felt incredibly real. But there was one boundary she had never crossed. She had never actually met a man in person. It's important to understand, this wasn't because she didn't want to, but because she was afraid. Afraid of being exposed, afraid of rejection, and afraid that the illusion they'd created would shatter the moment real life stepped in. Yet deep inside, a different feeling had started to grow, a longing, not just to be seen, but to be felt, to be held asterisk, to exist physically in someone's presence as the woman she truly was. That's when Brijesh entered her life. Their conversations started just like many others, casual, friendly. But very quickly, something shifted. There was a depth, a consistency, a genuine curiosity that set him apart. He wasn't just chatting with her, he was engaging with her in a meaningful way. And that's a key moment when connection no longer feels superficial, but becomes something real and significant. So these late-night chats gradually turned into long phone calls. His voice, there was something about it that she hadn't experienced before. It was firm, curious, with a hint of dominance, but always respectful. That tone made her feel feminine. It was a new sensation, and it drew her in deeper. Naturally, after days of hesitation, she reached a point where she knew she had to tell him the truth. Her heart was pounding as she typed those words. She sent a message saying, "I need to tell you something. I'm not what you think." There was a pause, a moment of silence that felt like forever. Then his reply came back. "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath, gathering her courage. She finally said, "I was born as a boy. My name is Sushant, but what you know is Nisha. That's who I really am." The silence that followed was heavy, longer than before. It felt almost unbearable. She stared at the screen, her chest tightening with anxiety. She thought to herself, "This is it. He's going to leave." But surprisingly, he didn't. Instead, he responded with words that changed everything. "I don't understand everything, but I want to meet you." That one sentence opened a new chapter. It was a moment of fear, but also excitement, an emotional collision inside her. She wondered, should I? She questioned herself. What if something goes wrong? What if he sees me and walks away? But then another voice inside her grew louder. What if he does? This thought sparked a flicker of hope. Today, I want to take you through a pivotal moment in Nisha's journey, when she decided to truly present her authentic self. On the day they planned to meet, Nisha prepared in a way she never had before. She didn't want to be only half herself. She wanted to be fully honest. But at the same time, she knew she couldn't risk being seen publicly in that state. So she did what she could to create a safe space for herself. She dressed fully as Nisha underneath, wearing a salwar kameez, bra, innerwear, bangles, earrings, a touch of light makeup, and a small bindi, those small details that complete her femininity. And over it, she put on a shirt and pants, a disguise, a shield to protect her. When Brijesh saw her, he saw Sushant, but there was something in his eyes, something deeper. He sensed there was more beneath the surface, beyond what he was seeing. They sat together in an auto rickshaw, and you could feel the air around them, thick, silent, and charged with unspoken emotion. Then, slowly, his hand moved, resting lightly on her back, testing, exploring. In that moment, he felt it, the outline of the bra beneath her clothes. He turned toward her slightly, no longer in doubt. There was no confusion now, only a profound realization. After that, they didn't need many words. Their connection spoke for itself. Words became unnecessary. He then took her to a secluded place, a quiet, empty bus on an isolated ground, away from the world, away from judgment. Inside that space, Nisha removed her outer layer, the male disguise. For the first time, she stood in front of him as her true self. Her salwar camis draped softly around her, bangles resting on her wrists, earrings catching faint light. Her face was nervous but present, authentic. Parsh looked at her, not with doubt or confusion, but with intensity. He softly said, "You," almost in disbelief, "you don't feel like a man at all." This moment marks a key turning point, when she was seen fully for who she truly is. It highlights the importance of authenticity, vulnerability, and the courage to be oneself, themes that resonate deeply throughout this story. That sentence broke something inside her and healed something else at the same time. What followed was her first real physical experience as a woman. It wasn't rushed, but it was overwhelming. A mixture of nervousness, vulnerability, and deep emotional release. She allowed herself to be close to him, to explore intimacy in a way she had only imagined before. She made him satisfied as any natural genetic girl would do. They got so intimate, smooching, caressing each other's sexual organs. He was the first man who actually brought out the real, complete woman from her. But when the moment approached where things could go further, she stopped him. Not out of fear of him, but out of fear of herself. "If I cross this line, I won't be able to go back," she said softly. He looked at her and didn't argue, but his desire was clear. Still, he respected that boundary. That day didn't end with everything, but it gave her something far more important, validation. Before they left, he said something that stayed with her forever. "I don't accept that you are a man inside. You are a girl. You will always be." And for the first time, she believed it. In February 2011, I left India for Australia to pursue further postgraduate studies. It was a whole new country, a new environment, and a real chance to start over. And this time I made a conscious decision, no more Nisha. I lived completely as Sushant from 2011 to 2013. There was no cross-dressing, no chatting, no hidden identity. At first, it felt strange, like something was missing. But slowly I adapted. The new environment helped me. New people, new routines, and a distance from the past. Then I met Lydia, who was my classmate. She was kind, intelligent, warm. We spent time together during studies, talked, connected. For the first time in my life, I felt something different. Not confusion, not conflict, but a real possibility. I thought, maybe I can live like this, maybe I can be a man. We went on a couple of dates, simple, nothing dramatic, but meaningful. I started imagining a future, a normal life, a wife, a family, so I gathered my courage and proposed. Lydia listened carefully. She didn't react immediately, but then she spoke calmly, honestly. She said, "Sushant, I really like you. You're important to me." I felt hope rising. But then she continued, "I want to be honest with you. I don't feel like I'm with a man when I'm with you. I feel like I'm with a sister." That silence was deafening. Those words weren't harsh, but they were absolute. In that moment, everything became clear again. I wanted to tell her everything about Nisha, about my past, about who I really was. But I didn't. I knew it wouldn't change the truth. After my course ended in 2013, I returned to India. Not just with a broken heart, but with clarity, because deep inside I knew Nisha wasn't gone. She had just been waiting. And now she was coming back, stronger than ever. In 2013, Sushant returned to India after completing his MBA in Australia. His experiences abroad had taught him independence and self-reliance, yet a void still lingered in his heart. The memory of Lydia was still fresh, the girl he had genuinely liked for the first time. He had taken a brave step and proposed to her, pouring every ounce of hope and vulnerability into that single moment. Lydia responded with gentle but firm honesty. She said, "Sushant, I really like you, but not as a man. When I am with you, I feel like I am with a sister or a girlfriend. I don't know why, maybe you need to introspect. Maybe no one ever told you that you could be actually a girl and not a boy. I can't see a romantic future with you. I hope you understand." Her words hit him hard. They shattered him emotionally. Weeks passed in a fog of confusion and sadness. He tried to live as Sushant, a man among peers, but deep inside, his true self, Nisha, remained alive, whispering in quiet moments. In this despair, Nisha resurfaced. The online persona, which he had kept hidden for so long, became a refuge. He began chatting again with men, exploring emotions and his identity, things he couldn't openly express in his daily life. During this time, he discovered Brijesh Joshi on Facebook. Their conversations stood out. They were different, attentive, curious, full of warmth and humor. Slowly, Nisha revealed her truth to Brijesh. "I am not just Sushant. I am Nisha too. That is who I truly am." Brijesh responded with calm and steadiness. "I want to meet you. I need to see the person I've been talking to." That simple desire sparked a connection that grew deeper with every call, message, and late-night conversation. This chapter highlights the profound pain of heartbreak, but also the redirection towards self-discovery and acceptance, which is central to understanding Sushant's journey. The day had finally arrived. Nisha dressed carefully, choosing male clothes to conceal her salwar kameez, bangles, earrings, and other feminine details. She also kept her makeup light and wore innerwear that wouldn't reveal too much. She kept Sushant's outward appearance until the perfect moment, balancing her true self with the role she was playing. Brijesh arrived in his car, and from the moment they met, you could feel the tension crackling in the air. His hand brushed her thigh, lingering and teasing, which sent a shiver of excitement through her. At the same time, a mix of fear and thrills surged within her. She stayed outwardly Sushant, maintaining her disguise, but deep down, she was savoring every touch, every glance, every moment of connection. When they reached his home, she shed the disguise completely. Nisha emerged fully herself, her salwar kameez draped perfectly, bangles jingling, earrings catching the light. Her almond-shaped eyes sparkled with life, her cheeks dimpled, and her lips appeared full and soft. She was finally free. Brijesh looked at her and said, "You are, Nisha, beautiful, complete." That simple recognition was powerful. It validated her true self and filled her with conviction. She felt a deep desire to surrender, emotionally, physically, completely. That night, their intimacy unfolded naturally. She allowed him to explore and take control, experiencing for the first time what penetrative sex felt like. Yes, pain was present, but it was intertwined with pleasure, and more than that, it brought emotional release. It was a profound moment of finally being herself, embracing her identity fully. She slipped into his arms, legs resting on him, one hand on his chest. He whispered softly, "You are mine, my woman, forever." Those words sealed her feelings and her new reality. Overwhelmed, she meekly accepted her place with him. She slept peacefully through the night in his arms, her heart and body aligned with the truth she had hidden for so many years. Morning brought warmth and tenderness. Brijesh made her bed tea, kissed her gently, and they shared another intimate moment. Laughter, whispers, and closeness strengthened their bond, marking the beginning of this new chapter together. Over the next few months, their love continued to grow deeper and more meaningful. I want you to imagine Nisha spending more time at Brijesh's home, sharing everyday moments, going on outings, enjoying dinners, taking long walks, and dreaming about their future together. Their conversations were endless, sometimes playful, sometimes tender, and occasionally heated with passion, reflecting the intensity of their connection. However, despite this blossoming love, there was still a tension stemming from their dual lives. Publicly, Nisha was Sushant. She played her roles at work, at home as a son, and among her friends. But privately, she was Nisha, loved, cherished, and adored by Brijesh. This stark contrast between her private freedom and daily obligations created a sense of anxiety and inner conflict, making her emotionally sensitive and sometimes overwhelmed. Throughout this time, Brijesh's love was incredibly patient. He took it upon himself to help her navigate her emotions, gently encouraging her to trust herself and the possibility of a shared life. You can imagine their dialogues, Brijesh reassuring her, saying things like, "Look at us, Nisha. We can make this work. You are my woman, my partner, and no one can take that away." And Nisha, softly whispering her doubts, saying, I want to believe, I want to be fully yours. I don't know how to be both, Sushant and Nisha." And Brijesh would reassure her, saying, Then let me guide you, step by step. We'll build it together. These conversations were vital. They helped her find her confidence and trust in their love. Introducing Brijesh to her family was another delicate step. At first, he was presented merely as a close friend. But gradually, through dinners, festivals, and casual visits, he became an integral part of their lives. Her mother started to see him not just as a guest, but as a caring presence, almost like a son-in-law in the making. I love how Naina teased, "Looks like you've got a secret boyfriend now," and Nisha would laugh softly, never resisting. Brijesh's patience, attentiveness, and genuine care slowly, but surely won her mother's heart. Over the months, he became part of the family, blending seamlessly into their routines, gaining trust, affection, and ultimately, love. This chapter truly marked a beautiful phase, blossoming love and the gradual integration into the family, which was essential for their ongoing journey together. Despite the deepening love, Nisha found herself plagued by uncertainty. Could she ever fully live as a woman? Could she become a mother someday? These questions weighed heavily on her every day, adding emotional stress to her life. One night, she experienced a vivid cosmic dream. In this dream, a luminous presence appeared and instructed her to start taking folic acid and B12 tablets. When she woke up, she felt uncertain but also compelled to follow this guidance. Curious, she did some research and found that the doses she needed were safe, even for a male body. Reluctantly, she began taking the supplements. Unexpected transformations started to happen. Physically, she noticed subtle changes. Her curves became more defined, her breasts fuller, her waist and hips took on a more feminine shape, and her feminine energy grew stronger. Emotionally, she experienced mood swings that aligned with lunar cycles, her empathy increased, and her nurturing instincts deepened. Psychologically, her anxiety about living a dual life began to fade. She felt more aligned, more truly herself. She even experienced menstrual-like symptoms, cramping, bleeding through stools, mood fluctuations, and sensation shifts. Things she had never imagined experiencing before. Each cycle brought a mix of wonder, fear, and joy. Her body and soul were gradually coming into harmony. She shared every change with Brijesh, telling him, I don't know what is happening, but I feel different. More myself, yet everything is changing." He held her hands gently, steadying her and reassured her, "It's okay. We'll face this together. We'll go to the doctors and understand every step. You are not alone." So by now, Nisha knows that she is a woman, and she has found the love of her life too, her man, Brijesh. But the question that lingers is, how will she proceed from here? Should she consider hormone therapy and surgery to become fully female, just like many other trans women do? That's one option. But then again, what about her core, soul-deep need to become a biological mother? That's a non-negotiable part of her identity. She recognizes that trans women can't get pregnant naturally because they don't have the reproductive system. So how can she fulfill this deeply personal desire? This leads us to an important question. What's next for her? How does she navigate these complex feelings and possibilities? It's a journey of understanding her true self, her needs, and what kind of future she envisions. One that respects her identity, her love, and her innate longing to experience motherhood.